Hello and welcome to this video lecture in how to love yourself. So I want us all to begin with just taking 3 deep breaths, and you can do this whatever way you want to. You can either sit down, you can lie down on a mat, on the grass, depending where you are, in your bed, and close your eyes if you want to. Look if you want to, and just focus on the breathing. So I'll do it myself and I'll get back to you. And then we come back. So if I say love is, then you might want to fill in that is with something. So I want you to, for yourself at least, write down about 9 words that describes love, the word love for you. So a few words that I wrote down was free, mysterious, wonderful, forgiving, safe, hard, strong, beautiful, and accepting. And it's a lot more words that defines love for me, but those are just a few. So these words that you just wrote down or have in your head, they also might describe you as a person. Feel it. Apply them to yourself and test them against yourself, and this might cause a bit of cognitive dissonance because we don't all agree in that we are beautiful, that we are strong, that we are safe within ourselves. So unless we can identify with our own words about love, how could we be it? How can we share it? And how can we heal it? We need to believe and act in the ways we think of love. Then we come to fears. They often darken the light of love, and it makes us irrational and egoistic and unfocused on our life's purpose. And we all have different purposes, but I think it all emanates from love. So, what are your greatest fears? I want you all to, once more, go into yourselves in whatever way you prefer. Maybe you want to dance, maybe you want to lie down, maybe you want to shut your eyes, maybe what comes natural to you. And I want you to do this for about 9 deep breaths. So I'll start breathing and also meditate on my fears. And I'll come back to you. So from there, a few concerns or fears arose, for me at least. So I wrote down this before, and I wrote down that my deepest fears would be absence of love, pain, and disease. But now I felt that one big fear of mine is that I would in any way mislead you. You're listening to this, or cause you any pain. And how do I and we together, how do we eliminate this fear, or illuminate this fear? Because it's almost as if you would be in a dark room and you don't see anything. So if you're afraid of the dark, just as I am, sometimes at least, it would be so much safer if you could only flick on a light and see the entire room. So what I want you to do with these fears is that you see them, maybe if it works for you, as an empty room, or as a room, a dark room. For each fear, at least choose one for this particular moment, and just fill that space with love and let it shine upon this dark room or this fear like a torch. And then you will see this fear for what it is, and then you can start to... Sorry, I'm just gonna read in my notations. You may or may not discover that these things actually scare you. If it doesn't scare you, then you don't need to analyze it anymore. Then you can move on to your next fear and do the same for each one until you really feel that you fear this. And then you'll just shine your light and your love even brighter on this fear. To look at it, to analyze it, and even more important than to analyze it is that you see it and shine your love light upon it. And then eventually you might start to feel the fear. And if you stay in that feeling of feeling the fear, not like feeling the fear and getting all scared and get the adrenaline pumping, but if you feel it like you relate to it, like you feel a friend in a way, like you see all the parts of it and you can start feeling it and relate to that fear. Where does it come from? What does it look like? Why is it hiding in this dark space? And the more you practice this, and the more you focus upon this fear that is your big fear, the more you can start. It gets easier with time, even though it might feel like climbing Mount Everest or something from the start. But it will become easier, and eventually you will start to feel that you can accept this fear through love. Because what we tend to do with the fears is to just shut them out, never look at them, never question them. We just know that it's something that scares us, and we don't want to get in contact with it. And this may cause you to have a lot of struggles buried beneath the surface of yourself and your conscience. And then it might come back as stress, it might come back as irrational fear or anger or even disease at times. So after you've been looking at these fears for some time, maybe you even accepted a few of your fears, then I want you to say I love myself. Now you? And if you don't believe that, go back to your descriptions of love. The 9 words that you wrote down in the beginning, or that you somehow remember. And try to fit yourself within those words. I can say to myself that I am free, at least in most aspects of my life. And I know how I can achieve that freedom within almost all aspects of my life. I am mysterious in some ways. I am wonderful. Yeah, I think I am. And I am forgiving, at least towards myself. I feel safe. I am safe. I am safe within myself. I am hard. I am hard to get sometimes. I am hard like a rock. I am hard and fair, maybe. Yeah, I think I can identify. I am strong. Yeah, I am mentally strong. And I am strong. Not super strong. I mean, there's always people who are stronger than me, but in relation to myself, I think I'm strong. And I'm beautiful. I am beautiful. And also, one of my words, accepting. Unless you can't relate to any of those words, you might wanna change a word about love and find a word that you can identify yourself with and the love with, so that you make like a web in between you and love, like strands hanging down, and then you can climb up to love through them, because you are love and you are identifiable by the same words as you identify love with. So I'll just read what I wrote. To self, I love myself, and then you go back to the descriptions of love. Do you agree with them about yourself? Why not? Find meaning for every word that you choose to describe love with. It will also describe yourself. And finally, for this lesson, forgiveness is not really something that we can ask from anybody else to give to us. It's something that you have to give to yourself before you can even give it to somebody else. It's like forgiveness is before you can give love to somebody else. Forgive before giving love. Treat yourself with love, respect, and acceptance, just like you would to your best friend. And unless you can't forgive yourself and accept yourself and love yourself, you won't be able to give that love to somebody else. You have to fill your own cup before you can fill somebody else's. And if you fill your cup with love, it will be an eternal source to share. Thank you all for staying here and listening to this. Peace and love.